Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is Monday, November 14th. We're looking at the NBA slate tonight. Have 7 games. Last night, posted the core on Twitter. Ended up cashing on both. Put up 323 on Draftkings, and Fanduel put up 361 at 0.1. So Draftkings cashed in all double ups in some tournaments. Fanduel hit in everything. And then Showdown NFL cashed as well. On Draftkings, at least missed on Fanduel. And then the main slates cashed on both sides yesterday, even with Juju Smith-Schuster made some updates once we got the Cowboys news, and ended up getting to CeeDee Lamb, who went nuts at 1% ownership in double-ups and sub 5% in GPPs. So good day yesterday. Let's keep it going today. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate it. The like button, subscribe if you have not already. This one will be a quick video, probably like 5 minutes or so. But I already have idea of who I'm going to play. So at the point guard position, got some questionable guys like Chris Paul and Hero. If Paul is out, then they priced up campaign a little bit, and the matchup's not the best. So he still looks like an okay play, but there are some other guys that I like. Jalen Green is 66. He's also questionable. If he's in, I like him. He's been playing really well recently, and he is a pretty streaky shooter. We know Cade Cunningham is out, so right off the bat, you're probably going to want to go to one of the Pistons value picks. And the guy that's been playing better recently without Cade has been Killian Hayes, back-to-back good performances. He's been starting, plays 34-35 minutes at this price tag against a shorthanded Toronto team. Should be a competitive game in Detroit. Over at shooting guard, top end, you have Paul George over 10K. I'm not paying that much for Paul George. He's been up and down all year, and the price tag is really high on DraftKings. I like Jaden Ivey at $6,200. Get to maybe another Pistons guy. He's also going to benefit without Cade Cunningham there, and he's going to play mid-30s in minutes, get more shots, more ball handling a bit, can get you rebounds as well. And he's already shown to have 45-plus point upside. And the matchup against Toronto with them missing Van Fleet and Siakam, it's a little bit worse for them. For the Raptors defensively, having to play older guys like Thaddeus Young and like Malachi Flynn and younger. Well, Malachi Flynn is very young, but he's definitely not as good of a defensive presence as some of those as like Van Fleet is. So Hayes, Ivy, 2 good guys to get you self-started if you are looking to get to anybody on Detroit. Small forward to run it back on the other side, we have OG Anunoby at $7,400 with Gary Trent being up and down. I still like Trent today, but he's definitely been volatile recently. Last game, just had I think one shot made and double-digit field goal attempts. But Anunoby's been very consistent this year for the most part. A couple of 20s sandwich in between, but he does give you upside over 40, especially with them missing Siakam. He's played a lot better in those types of games, and with Van Fleet also out, if Trent continues to struggle shooting, Anunoby's going to be able to take 15-plus shots, maybe even 20-plus shots if he's feeling really good and his shots is falling, and he will always give you a great game with defensive stats. So he hasn't dropped under 3 defensive stats since the third game since October 22nd, so the third game of the year. He's just so good in those categories. Other picks would be definitely Trent. I still like at 56 is a good price tag, and they started him at Barnes at point guard, and so he could get some ball handling duties as well. And then value guys would be some of the guys on Houston, depending on the Jalen Green news. You have Gordon and Martin, 2 guys that'll benefit, and then you have Otto Porter Jr. at $4,000 as well. At power forward, Giannis looks great. No Holiday again today. They priced up some of the other guys on Milwaukee, like Carter, so I'd rather just only look to Giannis. And then Brown is back, so it's going to make Tatum look less appealing at that price tag. You do have Scotty Barnes at 8K. He looks decent. If I was just going to pick between him and Anunoby, I do like Anunoby more just for the savings. But one value guy that I like from Toronto side here is Thaddeus Young. He ended up getting the start, and he played 34 minutes last game. Even though it was kind of a blowout, they weren't really competitive in it. But he still gave you 27 fantasy points. His price tag went up just by 700. And against the Pistons, if he starts at center again, or starts at power forward with Koloko starting at center, still think he can give you definitely return on investment at that price tag. And then the last guy that I have here is a very underpriced SGA. It's going into Boston, but we've seen some point guards already have great games against Boston this year. SGA is just such a great player. I mean, sometimes he doesn't get ownership. Just people are scared on the matchup, but I really don't care. I've been playing him a lot this year. He's been rewarding me a lot of the times with over 50 Last night he got over 60. Well, yesterday afternoon they put up 145. I believe that was all in regulation. But yeah, he's just such a great player. He shoots really efficiently, gives you defensive stats, he gives you assists, rebounds, and the price tag just continues to go down for him for some reason. So those are the 5 guys I like to get you started on DraftKings. Let's go ahead and look at FanDuel. So on FanDuel, I have the picks on the screen. We're not sure if we get Jalen Green on play not yet or not, but at this price tag, he's definitely worth a flyer if he's in at that $6,100 only. It's an 8 o'clock start, so we might not get the news, but maybe leave a spot open and he can pivot in case he gets ruled out after lock. But hopefully we get that news before 7 Eastern time. I'm not too crazy about going up for like Curry or Murray. Shea is 10K, like him better on DraftKings, but still fine on FanDuel if you wanted to pay up for him. And then values would be, once again, Jalen Green, who I like. You have Campaign at 57 if Chris Paul continues to be out. And then Hayes is 51. Looks a little bit better on the DraftKings side. Shooting guard, I like Trent at 55. He's up and down, but still going to get a good opportunity to show that he can at least hit some shots. And if he doesn't, then maybe he will see lesser minutes. But hopefully he plays better today because they have guys like Ivy or Pricey at 7,000. So I'd rather just take a shot on Gary Trent without Van Fleet and Siakam. Small forward, I like OG, but he's 83, and then Scotty Barnes is only 75. So if I had to pick between one of them on FanDuel, I'd look to Scotty Barnes. We'll see. Maybe if Chris Middleton is back, then that'll make like all the role players on the Bucks look like non-existent today. But power forward, Giannis is only 11.3. We're going to have value just based on the Toronto news and possibly the Houston news. And already we have the Detroit news with some value there. So Giannis is going to be very easy to get to at 11.3. And on this slate, he's by far the best pay up. And then last but not least, at center, right now I have Sengun. Things will change by the time lock comes around, but there's Sengun, Capella, and like Wendell Carter, the 3 that I'm really considering on FanDuel. Right now I like Sengun just given the matchup against like Zubats. He's already had one big game against him this year. And then you even have like Collins and Stewart you can look to in the 5K range, or even Horford, but I like Sengun against the Clippers. So that's what I got. Stay tuned for updates on Twitter. I always post the updated core there at the DFS process. You can check out the site if you want to join us, and I will see you all next time.